Well, good evening, everyone. Once again, we're down here in downtown Frankston. I can't say Frankston, righto. It's Frankston. All right. Anyway, Tuesday night, as you know, we have our live show. We've got a couple of good guests, but I am going to have my little rant. All right. We've seen all these morons out there in the streets, and I couldn't believe what I saw. Not wearing masks. I've said this the other week, but talking around and saying there is no such thing as COVID. Actually, you morons, if any of you are out there listening, because I don't care, because I call a spade, go and look at those poor people that are actually laying in hospital in the critical wards, right? And then, look at those poor people out of the elderly homes, nursing homes that are actually laying there in those ICU units trying to stay alive. Look at the poor nurses, right? And as we know, we had a couple of weeks ago, we had Peninsula Health on talking about the mental health of even our own nurses sitting in that hospitals and doing the job that they're doing at the moment with COVID. And so I think, what do they say? Over 1,000 nurses now are contracted COVID-19. And, like these women are putting their lives at risk. You morons, your mask. Don't run around. And what was that? What about that idiot on the news the other night saying that COVID, there's no such thing. It's a rort. It's a rip-off. What a moron. Anyway, that's Guru's rant for the night. Now to something nice. All right. It's good that our show is actually starting to be seen and everything like that. People know what Frankston Community Connect is, or you're learning what it's all about. As people know, during the bushfire, that's how we really kicked Frankston Community Connect off. Righto, 10 trucks. Once again, I've got to keep thanking Trudy and Brent for just kicking that off with the one truck that turned into 10 trucks. Right, people start. Products went everywhere, even up to Yarrawonga, right? And today, right, got a delivery of knitted beanies. We've got to try to put this out right. Knitted beanies, right? And these are done by year 12 at Yarrawonga. Just let me pull it up so I got it right. Right, Yarrawonga College. P2 community workshop. And what I'm led to believe that this is done by the whole community, right? Sitting there knitting beanies and things like that to give away to homeless. And today, one of my volunteers, he sent down to him, Gary, he dropped off to me 2 box loads of beanies so we can actually give them away. 1 box load that I'm going to give to mums supporting families in need. Then I'm just going to find another group of people that I can actually give another box of beanies away for the homeless and stuff like that. All right, tonight we've got two good ladies. Actually, I said we need more ladies in our candidates coming up for our elections. If I can find, I've still only got 2. Right, that I've found that are actually running. There may be a 3rd that I heard today. My phone hasn't stopped. It's been great because I've actually had some of these new candidates talking and had long conversations with them today. So in the next week or a couple of weeks, I'll be setting up interviews with some of these new candidates to come on. Right, tonight I've got two lovely ladies on. I've got Groom to Go, which I've always thought it was just a success, but it's Groom to Go Inc., who is going to be our first guest. Who's going to come up and talk about their organisation, how it started, what they do. And then after that, I'm going to have empowering leaders, which I think it's a little bit more. It's empowering people, empowering this, so it's empowering everyone, right? So I'm going to have Alex come up and we're going to talk about what she's done, the books that she's written. And as I said in the promo, she's worked for the prison systems and Centrelink and all that kind of stuff. So the lady's got a fair bit of knowledge. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up our first guest. And here we come. 1, 2, 3. Good evening.
Hi there, Glenn. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. A lot better tonight than I was last night. I was asleep this time of night. I've got stupid humour. Right, just introduce yourself.
Okay. So I'm Marian Gandy. I'm the president of Groom to Go, which is the overarching organisation for Dress for Success, as you know us better by. So we're Groom to Go is a not-for-profit organisation, and we provide appropriate clothing and career support services to people at times of important life events. So this is normally for in the past, it's always been around job seeking, but people also have needs. They might have to go to court, they might have to go to a funeral, they might have some other life event that they really don't have the appropriate clothing for, and we're there to help them in those circumstances.
Right, fair enough then. Just, Aaron.
Yep.
Aaron's just said, Connect Church may take the beanies. Aaron, I spoke to Connect yesterday. So once again, just a little bit of encouragement about our show. Righto. The person last week has been watching the show and everything like that, called out for help. I was actually saw Connect, and I actually rang him about a week or so ago and asked, "Who the hell are you?" Because I thought they were trying to pinch our name. And, anyway, I had a long talk with them and found out that they're actually another organisation out here that's actually helping the community with food books. And this woman had no food, no nothing. Saturday, I actually spoke to her, got her to speak to Frankston Frankston Connect Church, right? And anyway, that afternoon they were sending her food parcels and then looking after the lady.
Fantastic.
So
that's amazing.
What it's all about.
It's a great community. It's a great community.
Eliza's saying, "Yeah, hello, looking good."
Thank you, Eliza. I put my lippy on just for her.
So, I don't, mine gets hidden up by the mow, and so the lippy doesn't show with me.
No, indeed, it wouldn't be your best look, I don't think, Glenn.
No, thanks for that. Now, with I've got to keep trying to get my head around Groom to Go.
Groom to Go.
Where did the Dress to Success come from then?
Okay, so I've operated in the region for since 2008 as Dress for Success. So Groom to Go is our overarching organisation. That's the organisation that is registered with the Charities Commission. That we are. That's the bank account that the money goes into whenever we get any money. But we operated as Dress for Success since 2008, and since 2011 we've been part of the international affiliation with Dress for Success worldwide. So Dress for Success is all about helping women and supporting women to achieve financial independence. So, as I say, we've operated for the last 10 or 12 years as Dress for Success. But in 2018, we applied for a grant through the Victorian government to open a brother program, if you will, for men. And so we launched it under Groom to Go, because Dress for Success as an international organisation is all about women. And much as we love our blokes, we couldn't operate a men's program under Dress for Success. So hence we elevated the Groom to Go brand above Dress for Success. But basically we're here under any name you like to call us to help people who are in need of some support as they seek jobs or as they navigate some of the interesting times that we're going through at the moment.
So it's not. See, now I'm glad I got you on, because here I'm thinking you're only a small. So you're actually international. You're not just here.
The Dress for Success organisation is part of an international affiliation. Yeah. So it started in New York City in the late 90s. I think it's 20 years old. It's 20 years old.
All right.
And there's affiliates around Australia. So we've got Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, of course, Hobart, Adelaide, and Perth all have Dress for Success outlets. So we loosely collaborate around initiatives and funding, and we all offer the same sort of program and how the clients come to us and what they're offered as part of our programs. Yeah.
So where do you see these clients from?
So clients come to us from all sorts of areas, actually, from job active providers or from community groups. When our doors are open, which they're not at the moment, we sometimes have people just drop in who've seen what our services offer, and we don't turn anybody away.
Right.
But mostly, as I say, from job active providers, from community groups, from the justice system, and from the domestic violence support groups as well.
Right. All right. Oh, hello, John. I saw you up there, friend. He actually said hello to me. Right, Johnny, I've known you for a lot of years. Right. So now you're talking about the justice system. What do you mean by that?
Well, it's a fledgling program for us, but our Sydney sisters have a program with women who are leaving jail. So we're currently talking to the justice system about how we can help women as they emerge from being in jail, and we can help them with clothing, with resume building, with career support workshops, all that sort of thing. So yeah, it's a new area for us, but we're really keen to get involved in that area where we can help women as they leave jail and try to assimilate back into the community.
So that's just in Sydney at the moment.
I believe that Perth has a program as well. So we'll be taking pointers from them, and we're also already in conversation with the Justice Department here in Melbourne.
Because I think that's a serious issue there, right? We actually, I didn't realise this is the kind of stuff that you did, right? Because we're going to go a little bit off track here, right? And I know that I look like an angel.
Of course, yes.
Right? And Alex, like I said, interviewed me probably 4 weeks ago, right, from my dysfunctional background, right, as a child from the institutions, to actually, believe it or not, I was a naughty boy. I've been to jail.
Were you really, Glenn?
Yeah, I know. And I know I'm an angel now, but it's such an important thing, because when people have actually been incarcerated, right, the whole bottom of your life actually gets pulled out. And Alex can talk a little bit about that later on, because she was in the prison. She was a warden, or like a prison guard, right? But I'm coming from the side of actually, right, when you actually get released from prison, you're basically absolutely on your own, absolutely degraded. Most of the time you don't have anything at all. You don't have a place to go, place to live, and you don't have clothing.
And you don't have clothing.
When you get actually locked up, you get locked up in the clothing that you got.
Yeah, depending how long you've been in there.
Well, true.
Might not be looking.
That's true. And because if I was got out now, I'd be in a pinstripe suit.
I'd like to see that. Did it have flares?
Yeah. But anyway, you come out, you're like, a lot of times when you've gone in, right, you've gone, all your possessions and all your belongings end up disappearing, right? Like, and that's a fact. And women that come out, whether it be women or be men, when you come out of an institution or out of prison, right, you've absolutely got nothing, right? So actually provided with clothing and stuff like that is such an important thing. What else do they provide when they come out? Like I said, I've gone off track because I was thinking you only.
Well, I do want to talk about our domestic violence stuff.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Yeah, look, we're still beginning. We're just at beginning, but I think it'll be along the lines of the stuff that we offer at the moment. So we'll help them to start building that resume, to start doing some. We have workshops on, on styling and how to present yourself, on confidence building and that sort of stuff. So I think really trying to give those women a few tools and strategies that they can start to use as they start to seek work. And just the confidence, the confidence in being able to look good. It's not important. It's important to women, but it's also important to men. Just how you actually walk into an office to present yourself for a job. You don't like to judge a book by its cover, but people do. And if you think you look good and you feel good, then you will make such a much more positive impression.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Yeah, like I said, here I am because a couple of my volunteers have actually used your service, right? Going for jobs and they now job seeker and all that kind of stuff. So that I do know that they've actually gone down, and that's why I only knew you as Dressed to Success, because
that's all right. You can call us whatever you like.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially one of my young blokes, he was so proud that he was actually going down to get his first ever suit to go for a job.
It's been, the men's program has been delightful, I have to say. We didn't quite know what to expect, but it's been such fun dressing the men of all ages and descriptions, and again, they just feel so much better about themselves when they've got a suit or just a nice jacket and a shirt and a pair of pants. It's I love to explain when people come in and they're often a little bit sort of rounded and not carrying themselves very well, but once they've spent an hour with us, you can actually see them lift up and square their shoulders and really feel so much better about themselves. So it's a feel good service from both angles.
Yes, no, I can understand that, right? And look, it's good. If they're going out the first time to get a job, or they're young people, and because they're used to just walk around in a t-shirt and a pair of jeans, don't realize.
Yeah, exactly.
First appearance is so important, right? Me being a boss myself and owning businesses and things like that, when someone would walk in and they like looking for a job and they just a dirty old pair of jeans with holes in them and t-shirt, they give me a resume. The resume actually got filed in the rubbish bin. But if someone come in dressed up, I said, well, this person's actually trying.
It's making an effort,
And so, so you put their resume up on your desk. You look at that, right? So
exactly
important.
Exactly. So, sorry. No, I was going to say, clearly we're a bit limited at what we can do at the moment, right? So we can't do face-to-face styling or workshops, etc. at the moment. And in the first lockdown, we were able to do some virtual styling and virtual mentoring, that sort of stuff. This time we are in stage 4. The thing that we have, so I'll just go back to some of the services that we've provided in the past. So we have a styling service, a half-hour mentoring service, and workshops. Now we have a great relationship with Chisholm TAFE in Dandenong, and when COVID struck, they put all their career counselling and their workshops online, and they've given our clients the ability to access those programs as well. So that's been fantastic that we've still been able to offer career counselling and workshops online. From a styling perspective, one of the things that we've done in the past is for our ladies who are a bit further afield, we've been able to do what we call a pack and send program. So they call us up, we have a chat, we can get on a video call if necessary, and we can pack up some clothing and send them to people who are a bit further away. So we thought at the moment, with the concerning increase in domestic violence, we thought a great extension to that program would be to put together emergency clothing packs for people fleeing domestic violence. So we're working with the support agencies at the moment to launch that. And again, it's a flexible offering. Some people leave home in what they stand up in. So they might need toiletries, they might need undies, they might need sleepwear, they might need a couple of sets of clothing to get them through the first week or so out of home. So that's something that we feel is a really practical and useful thing to do at this time, and hoping to get that going in the next few weeks. So any support agencies that are tuning in tonight, don't hesitate to call us if you need some help.
Yeah, no, look, that's so important. Right, because during this time, there's a lot of areas where, and through domestic, like as you said, domestic violence, it's growing, it's increasing. Like drink or alcohol consumption is actually getting bigger, right?
It is.
We're actually face to face. Like you're like, I'm lucky. I've only got my dog, and
he's very tolerant.
Huh? What's that?
Is your dog very tolerant?
Sometimes. Right. And but like people are actually stuck in the same house, and kids, right? You're stuck in their day in 24/7. The only time you can go out is go down to the shops, right? Yeah. And then what they're doing is going to the shops. They're sneaking into the bottle-o, coming home. They're starting to drink more, and all of a sudden we're starting to see an increase in domestic violence.
Yeah.
And so it's actually bad.
And everybody's a bit stressed at the moment. We're all a bit anxious about what's going on, and and when are we going to get out of this? And have you got a job? And can you pay the rent? And all that sort of stuff. So the stresses that on people at the moment are really quite tangible.
Yeah, look, it is really bad. And I was actually talking to a couple of young people today as well, and they were actually, I was really wrapped because one of them actually I've known for a lot of years, and she's come out of turning her whole life around from using drugs and everything like that to where she's a really good, stable girl. But she was talking about her friends are all, worried because there's been a 35% increase in suicides.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. That's a lot.
And there's also around about 30% self-harm, which we don't know that much about. It's not just suicide. Suicide's bad, but it's all anguish, the anxiety, the panic attacks and everything like that.
Yeah.
People are starting to self-harm themselves, right, to get attention.
Yeah.
Right, because they don't know where they're going, right? And once again, then that falls over to domestic. And it doesn't have to be a husband and wife having domestic violence.
No.
People don't realise it could be just brother and sister. It could be son and mother. It could be so many different areas when it comes to domestic violence. It's unbelievable. So where do you see yourself going through in the future?
So I think this is a really interesting time for lots of not-for-profits. Clearly, you know yourself that funding is always an issue, right? For how do you bring in money to continue your services? So we're taking some time at the moment while we're not so busy face to face to have a look at other ways that we can be sustainable. So looking for ways to increase our funding platforms and that sort of thing. The whole model of grants, philanthropy, donations will continue, but I think it's going to be sorely stretched in the next little while through the bushfires, the COVID thing, and everybody really struggling at the moment with work. As far as we're concerned, we want to be here for the long haul. We want to be here to continue our services, to expand our services to women and men, transgender, however you identify. We want to be here for the long haul, and continue to really support people. I guess the end result for us, or the end goal, is that people become financially independent. That we prepare them for a job, they're able to find a job, and we really want to support them as they start their employment and continue their employment in the post, in that post-employment sector as well, to really support them. And Alexandra is probably a person I'm going to keep tucked up my sleeve to work with us maybe in going forward in that post-employment state, because I think it's a really, people, sometimes it's easy to get a job, but it's quite hard to keep it.
Maintain it. Yes.
Workplaces can be quite stressful as well.
Yep, I do understand that one. I know.
Yeah.
So, right. What we might do is I might give you a rest for a minute. Right?
Oh, thank you.
And bring Alex up and have a talk with Alex for a little bit. Then what I'll do after that is actually bring the three of us up. I'll probably put myself down because I'll just let you two yap.
I was going to say, we probably have a little chat.
What I'll do, I'm just going to bring Alex up.
Great. Thanks, Glenn.
Each 1, 2, 3, up you come. And I'll put you down for a second.
Awesome. Hello, everyone.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you, Glenn. And I just want to say a huge thank you to Marian from Groom to Go. What an incredible service. And they do some incredible work as well. So thank you so much. That was a great presentation indeed.
Right. And I'm sorry. What is it?
Domino Effect Consulting. I can do that. That's okay.
Domino Effect Consulting. Right. So, because that's your business name.
It is.
I like the empowering people.
I do empower people. That's what I do. I give them the skills.
No. What's this one I need? Oh, we've always got someone being stupid. Right, it doesn't matter. We've met, it must have been 18 months, 2 years ago. I was asked to come and be a guest speaker at one of the business breakfasts or something. Right?
That's right, yeah.
And that's when we first ever met. And then you asked me to you got me to be as a, you interviewed me, didn't you?
I did.
So that's right. And you interviewed me about 4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And I said, I've got to get you onto the show because I think that's what you're about, right, with your consulting business and everything like that. You're actually there to teach people and how to be leaders, how to be mentors, how to be pillars in their own society, but also just people that are actually going through hard times, realising what they can actually achieve out of their own selves. True or not?
Yeah, absolutely, Glenn. If I can just elaborate a little bit more, having worked, like you said earlier, having worked in the prison system myself, and I wasn't a warden. What I was doing is I was coming in as a prison liaison officer working for Centrelink. So my role potentially was to assist people to transition back into society, into the workforce. So I did that for 10 years whilst I was with Centrelink. I was with Centrelink for 17, and part of my role in that 10 was prison servicing, and I worked predominantly at Fulham Correctional, which at that point was one of Victoria's largest male prisons. And my role there was to help people, I suppose, help prisoners ready to be released into the community, link into all the right services, but even more than that, get them ready with some money to start with and all the rest of it. Now, the reason I started my business, Domino Effect Consulting, was because what I found, Glenn, was there was a huge gap in communication and connection. What I found is that people who work in organisations and are, and have dealings with vulnerable people or people who potentially need help don't listen enough. They're so huge on getting their stuff out, like getting the system done. They're not listening. And you said earlier that a lot of people are at the moment struggling with getting attention. That's been the case for so long. We need to stop and really listen to people and hear what they're saying, not listen to answer. So that was the purpose of my leaving Centrelink, I guess, and opening my business, because I needed to reach out to all of those services in terms of Centrelink, the job providers. There's a huge gap and there's not enough listening. There's too many assumptions and not enough listening to the individual to see what is it really that they need. How can we fill this gap to help them get back into society, to help them find work, and as you said, more importantly, to help them maintain that job. And it all comes back to self. So this is what I do, and I'm so very passionate about filling the communication gap, teaching people, professional people, how to communicate better with those who potentially may have come from perhaps a different background, remembering that we're all different, and also understanding that people who have been incarcerated, unfortunately, from my experience with them, and they've told me that they feel like they've got this sign on their forehead that they're a prisoner. It's about breaking down those barriers. We're all human, and remembering that no matter where we've come from, we are all entitled to another chance, right? We're all entitled to give that person a go and to allow them to change, because we can all do that. We just need the tools and the skills to do that.
Yeah, that's so true. So true.
Yeah.
So, look, like the time that we actually spoke, right? And we talked about, or as you know, my sort of scenario is that I changed by actually going to church.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I've done 17 years in the church, and I've actually done Bible college and all that kind of stuff. And I actually changed that way. And it's actually it's a hard way to change.
Yeah.
A major concern now, right, is I start talking to so many people out here at the moment that are going through a really, really hard time. And one of the reasons I've conned you into coming on tonight, righto?
Conned me. I still haven't got the money, by the way, just saying.
Don't tell everyone, righto?
Just kidding.
Manipulated you. No.
I love doing this stuff. It's so important to get the message out, you know.
I know, and that's why, all jokes aside, that's why I wanted you on tonight.
Thank you.
Is because you are a powerful woman, right, with what you believe in and what you teach and everything like that. There are so many people out there, and I hope they're listening tonight, and even if they're not here tonight, right, that if they, because believe it or not, they might not be watching tonight, but they actually watch during the week.
That's terrific. That's so important.
Believe it or not, out of a little thing on Facebook, that myself and Carol and Jess and that we started up, right, we're thinking we're only going to get 20, 30 people watchers. Right, like last week, there was over 2,000 people that had viewed it.
Well done, Glenn. You're doing a wonderful job. I love this program. Well done.
Well, I can't do it without the lovely people that are working behind me, like Carol and Jess and things like that. Carol that actually puts up she put up your link and everything like that. It's fantastic. But
that's lovely. If I can just add too, is it okay if I can just add a couple more things, or have you got some questions?
No, well, let's just do that. Then we'll go back to what I'm talking about.
What I wanted to add as well, Glenn, is another reason why I wanted to start doing what I'm doing is because naturally as human beings, we're judging beings. It's how we tick. But one thing I want to be able to create some awareness around, particularly with, people who have the chance and the ability and even the power, I suppose, and the influential power to help people who most need our help, is to dump the judging, dump it. Because we are all so different, and it comes back to listening and really appreciating who each and every one of us are, no matter what our background is. Mm-hmm. There is not one person that is born with the intention to do harm to anybody or to do the wrong thing. It just, life unfortunately unfolds like that. Mm-hmm. So another reason why I did do what I'm doing or started my business is because I'm so passionate about teaching professionals, particularly frontline professionals, how to better communicate and connect to have immense influence with those who need the most attention, who need the most help. Because there's a breakdown of communication there. And then any wonder, people say, oh, that person was aggressive or that person was mad. Well, hang on, how did you speak to that person? So, we only get the response we deserve, right? So it's really important to be able to treat people like an individual. And this is where I'm so very passionate about getting my, I guess, message out there, that before you open your mouth, notice how are you communicating to that person, and how do they like to be communicated to? Because that's saying communicate to people how I like to be communicated to is BS. It's non-existent. It's how they like to be communicated to. So we really need to be aware of that.
Yeah. No, you're 100%. You're 100% spot on. It's so true.
Yeah.
It's how you're treated.
Totally.
And it's how you speak to people.
Yeah.
And me as the president or boss of my organisation, sometimes I actually speak the wrong way, and I've actually got to take back. And when I do it, I apologise to to people and things like that. But the thing about it is, the people that have gone through a hard time, right? And I'm glad you've brought that up. People that have come out of prisons or come out of young people that have come out of drug addiction.
Yeah.
Not just young people, but all people, right? Their feelings in a position of where their low self-esteem is, they need to be encouraged. They need to be built up to actually go out and try to get a job and it's not just trying to get a job. It's actually trying to communicate
totally
with society.
Yes. And it's their fear of rejection, their fear of being judged that stops them, you see.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
And I've been on the other side of it, right? And I've come out of it, myself, right? I don't give it two hoots. Like I was going to use that other word.
That's all right. It is in the dictionary, just saying.
I don't give two hoots what people say about me or anything like that, or what they think of me, right, or anything like that, because it doesn't affect me anymore.
Right.
Who I am, and that's, like I said, one of the reasons I wanted to get you in here, because of your positive attitude, right, and Maria's positive attitude. That because there's a lot of people out there probably listening now, or are going to be listening during the week, that are actually suffering.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Sitting there at home saying, I'm stuck at home. I don't know what to do with myself. I feel down. I feel rotten. Something that when I'm actually counselling someone myself, how would you like to be counselled by me?
That'd be an interesting interaction. I
gauge you between the eyes. But right? I think this is so important. It's what you confess is what you possess.
Right.
Do you understand what I mean by that? Most people don't. Right? If you're confessing negativity around your life, that I'm no good, that I'm useless, I'll never get a job, right? I'm stuck here at home, I'm lonely and all that kind of stuff, right? You're actually confessing all that negativity around your life. But if you actually sit there and you confess positive things, I'm feeling crap today, but I'm going to make sure it's better.
Yeah. If I may add to that, I love that. Is that okay if I interject?
Yeah.
Great. One of the things I say in my book, I actually share, I'm not sure whether you're familiar with Jack Canfield. He's the Chicken Soup series fella, Yeah. And one of his models that I've actually shared in my book, I shared it specifically because I find it very powerful, is the ERO model. And it's just so easy to follow, which is why I've put it in there. And basically it's saying exactly that in a different way. It's saying we're all confronted with so many different events in life, whatever obstacle comes our way, consider it's like an event, just like something's happened. Now, the response we give to that is what outcome we're going to get. So if we respond to it in a negative way, of course, we're going to get a negative outcome, right? It's the same with if you're having an interaction with somebody. So if I used to see it so many times in, the organizations that I've worked for in the past, where you would get the professionals speaking to the customer who's come in. Now, the customer, obviously they've come in because they're vulnerable. They need help. They need someone to turn to. They need advice, but people don't always know how to communicate that, And so the professional must know, okay, what outcome do I want for this person? I must act in a way. So my response must be in a way so that the outcome is a positive one.
Yeah.
Because I trust that makes sense, because if you're going to get 2 negative responses, you're going to create this freaking, explosion of negativity. Whereas if you stand back and observe, okay, so let's just listen, really listen to hear, what outcome do I want for this person? What outcome does this person want? And how can I guess, better adjust my response so that the outcome is the way that it is meant to be?
Yeah. And
we have power over that,
We do. And that's exactly what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about what you confess is what you possess.
Yeah.
Right. So, and like I said, if you want to possess good stuff around your life, even though we're going through a crisis at the moment, and and I know depression's there, I know anxiety's there, and I know, but you sit down and you start talking and saying, I'm feeling crap at the moment.
Right.
I'm going to do something now to make myself good. So you're actually you're putting positive stuff out there. So you're possessing that positiveness instead of the negativity.
Absolutely. It's what you focus on is what you get, Glenn. So at the end of the day, I think we've got to remember, and this is a message that I would like to get out there, because I've also got a podcast series as well. But one thing I do say a lot of is remember that we cannot control anything outside of ourselves, right? We can control the way that we react to things. We can control our emotions. We can control our feelings. We can control what we say, what we think. All of that is within our control and influence. Anything outside of that, like what happens, what you do, what the media does, what happens out there, we can't control any of that. But we can control how we look after ourselves and our health, being internal, and our mindset, and whether we're healthy, what we do, right? So that is what we need to focus on. And I think what happens is that people tend to focus on, because we're so absorbed by all what's going on, we get so stressed out and anxious about all the stuff that's happening, and we think, oh my God, but stop. You can't control any of that. You can't control whether the person's walking down the street, right?
That's right.
You can control whether you walk down the street.
That's right.
So focus on that for a minute, and that's what's important. And focus your energy on the positive, on stuff that you can do to make it better.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a little friend up now, because she's sitting there patiently.
I can hear her. I can feel it.
She's nodding her head with a lot of things we're saying, except
very good.
She's going like that with me, and yes, like that with you. Now I'm going to bring her back up. 1, 2, 3, bang. Right, because it actually counts. It counts out when you're coming. Right, that's better.
Fantastic.
Now we can see each other. So you've been listening to this, haven't you?
I have. I've been listening with great interest. I'm just scribbling down things that Alex isn't going to get away from me now, I have to tell you. I want to thank you, Glenn, actually, because one of the things that I find since I've been involved in this sector is there are so many charities and so many people wanting to do good stuff. And the ability to connect with the right people is quite challenging at times. So, it was great to meet you through Peter Murphy's little charity forum the other week, and you acted on it straight away. So I really appreciate, that whole thing around Frankston Community Connect is trying to connect up people who can work together and for better outcomes, really, because we're all, I guess, heading in the same directions.
No, that's true. Look, like I said, one of the reasons I actually, Carol and I sat down 2 years ago and started talking about how we see so many different groups out there working and trying to do like some of us trying to do the same thing, some not trying to do the same thing, but out there doing and working so hard as volunteers for our community with no recognition. Right? People don't see us, right? So, with Frankston Community Connect, as we said, we wanted to start something up that connected the community groups together. I interviewed Frankston North Rotary Club a few weeks ago, right? Great, the Rotarians do a great job for their community. and they've asked me to come on. I'm the guest speaker there tomorrow night. And I'm not happy. Do you know why?
Why?
The other times that I've gone and been a guest speaker at the Rotary clubs, they put on a meal for you.
Oh, you're not getting fed tomorrow. Oh, you poor
I've got to
darling.
feed myself.
Oh,
I hate cooking.
sucks to be you, Glenn.
So that's what I like being a guest speaker. So you get a free feed. Oh, do you
Just
know
not
what?
the same.
Take it away, just a bit of joking, a bit of fun. Right, I was a guest speaker at the Bay Morris Mentone Lions Club, and they met at the Mentone RSL. Anyway, they've come out and the menu and everything like that, and they said, "Oh, Glenn, we order off the seniors menu, right? Because we're going to pay your meal, but we order off this." I said, "Really?" And I said, "All righto then." And anyway, I'm expecting a nice meal and everything like that, and so I ordered a chicken schnitzel. Right, and I nearly cried because it come out. It was only half a breast and about 3 carrots. I said,
You old people don't eat a lot.
I said, "Is that the entree?" So they said, "Yeah, Glenn, sorry, that's the best." I said, "Can I have 2?"
Oh, well, you can eat as much as you like tomorrow night then at your own restaurant.
Yes, I know. But listen, we've got 2 great service, and like I said, character building. I would say that, and like I keep saying about Alex, what she does and what she teaches, and the things that she actually, I think we need at the moment to be pushed out. And I think that you two joined up together could actually be a
formidable force.
Totally.
Alex, I'm really interested in where how do people find you? How do your clients come to you?
Most of my clients I've already connected with through networking, through online, through a lot of the the events that I hold as well. They may find me through the podcasts, through all sorts of, especially now, I suppose, online. It's that way. Before COVID, I was going out and about and running community events for Frankston City Council, Mornington Shire, Casey, and all the rest. So it's generally just linking into all of those communities.
A lot of that word of mouth stuff,
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, that's exactly
right. So as I say, you're not going to get away from me now because I think there's some great work. There's some great work that we could do together, particularly as we come out of this.
Absolutely.
Whilst I've got you 2 lovely ladies here, I'm going to hit you between the eyes. Last week, right, and I can see young Hannah's there, right? Last week I had two young people, right? One was a volunteer for me, or he doesn't do it as much at the moment because he's attempted suicide a couple of times and self-harm, depression, anxiety, all that kind of stuff. Now he's gone back to get his master's.
Wow.
Services and everything like that.
Well done.
Actually, having him on, as I said to him last week, I said, "Well, mate, it's always going to be there, but you've learnt how to deal with it."
Yeah.
Poor Hannah's been going through a hard time, right? She's been inboxing me and talking to me and everything like that. Needed a bit of help. So once again, like I did with you, Alex, I actually conned her and got her to come onto the show last week to actually talk to us.
Nice.
Right, to help her as well. And I'm so proud of her because she's done what I've said. Next Thursday night, not this one, the Thursday after, I've told her to set up a youth group through Zoom.
Nice.
Great idea.
And start inviting some of her friends, young people that write. And Hannah, if you're still there, can you put up the name of your group that you've called it? Right. And anyway, she's going to do her first one next week. I'll sit in and help for the first couple of times. Right now, what I'm going to do because we are in a position at the moment where a lot of people are suffering, right? And I think there's a lot of women out there, right, that are really suffering, right? They need a lot of encouragement. I'm dealing with a girl that's 26, right, with a 9-month-old baby, right, for domestic violence, where her husband wants to throw her out of the family home and everything like that. Little problem is that she's actually not a resident of Australia, right? The baby is, but she's, right, so there's some legalities amongst all that. But the poor girl's on her own. And as I said, the lady that actually reached out to us wanting food and all that kind of stuff. And it's continually happening. I know. Oh, here it is. Young People with a Purpose. She's called a Facebook page.
Well done, Hannah. Good job.
Good on you, Hannah. It's fantastic.
Should be proud.
Yeah, I'm really proud of her. I think the way she was talking to me the other day, we are like, and I don't think she'd mind us saying that she just, Hannah actually, believe it or not, got Young Person of the Year award last year for Frankston.
Wow, that's
Fantastic.
awesome.
I know. But she come out about her, the bullying at school and everything like that, and the depression and everything like that. But because of COVID, I believe, my opinion, I could be wrong, but because of COVID, and I think it's there right at this moment, that poor Hannah, and I'm using you as an example, Hannah, because I love you, right, that she went back to her old traces, went back to her old routines, back to her old feelings, right, of depression, not low self-esteem, unworthiness, that no one wants me, right, and everything like that. And there's so many people out there right this moment that are in the same boat. I don't know. And the reason I've wanted a couple of powerful women to come in and talk tonight, right, is because there's a lot of women out there exactly the same boat. I know.
Yep.
They don't know where they're at.
You're so welcome.
They're emotionally struggling. The poor single mums that are out there that are having to do homeschooling again, right? They got no respite from their kids, right? At least a little bit that they got that respite when they went to school. But now the kids are under their feet. A woman the other day said, can you help me? Because I've got 4 kids at home. What can I do? Right? Well, unfortunately, there's not much we can really do but talk to them. And I'm going to put it out there, exactly what I did with Hannah last week, right? There's always motives. I've always got alternative motives.
Or ulterior motives, Glenn?
For everything I do. I'm only joking. I'm going to put it out there. And I know that you do podcasts, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that we need, and no, stuff it. I'm going to say it. I approached Frankston Council. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that earlier. Forgive me. I swore. It's stuff it. But I reached out to Frankston City Council because I want to do these sort of things. And unfortunately, they got to go through media and all that kind of crap. And they got to get media permission. I'll stuff it. If I can get some people like Hannah, right, to do it with the youth, I need a couple of good women to set up a women's group, right, here in Frankston. And Frankston Community Connect will actually, we'll post it, we'll advertise it, I'll spread it for all the Frankston community things that there's, but the women out there need help through what you do, Alex, encouraging people, empowering them, teaching them to be, right, who they are, and, like that they've actually got more power inside themselves than that they think they do.
Absolutely, yeah.
And what you're doing, through, your Groom to Go.
You'll get it yet. Not that hard.
Hey, listen, when I done Bible college, I was going to drop out because the first subject was eschatology. It took 5 weeks to be able to pronounce the word, let alone do the subject. And
Never mind understand what it is.
So, It takes me ages. I'm old. I can't help it these days. I'm sorry that I've overtaken this little thing, but like I said, there was some, like things that, there was something that I wanted to get out and I wanted to do. Like I said, I've approached the council about setting up a ladies group, right, through Zoom, right?
Mhm.
But you can get up to 100. How many get up to 100
A
people?
lot of, yeah.
Right.
500.
They're yours?
500.
Well, that's if you pay for it.
Oh, right. 100.
100.
Hey, I'm a
Sorry
charity.
about
I've got to pay for this. I pay. This is not free. What we're on. I actually
No, nothing. Nothing much is free in the world.
nothing in life is free. I can't free feed. I've got so anyway, I'm going to charge you, ladies, to actually set something up. Are you happy to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
We can certainly have a chat about it. Yep.
Well, you two, they see, going to become mates now. So you just
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Why not? Two powerful, beautiful women.
World's our oyster.
I just think it's needed. Right? I said the messages that I keep getting all the time from women. Right? I don't know why they reach out to me. I'm just a mean old, nasty, grumpy old bloke.
Can I just interject just for a minute? Nasty old grumpy bloke.
Yeah, go on.
At the end of the day, we do what you said before. We all have the resources inside of us. The only problem is, the only thing that's holding us back is we don't know how. So we just don't know what we don't know. And often we just need someone to show us how.
That's right.
So if we've never been shown before how to think in a particular way, how to take a certain step, how to do something differently, how to maybe take action, we won't know until someone shows us. And so I think these are perfect opportunities to show people how.
Yeah.
Yep, and just show that we love our community.
Yeah.
And
we're all in this together after all. I mean, we're all, ultimately we all want to be able to live a happy, fulfilled life with the support. So how do we do that if we don't know how?
Like the only thing we don't need is bogans like Neil Mitchell coming into Frankston and calling us bogans.
Some kind.
That's what he said. He said when he was doing that live broadcast in the last state elections, he actually said, well, I've been told there's all bogans down here. And I said, mate, the only bogan we got here is you right now. There's no bogans in Frankston. Sorry. I love my Frankston. And so I would never make a councillor, would I?
Insufficiently people can correct us.
They got to
throw it out at the first meeting.
Yeah, they got to live by a code of conduct. I don't.
Good point.
So, look, ladies, the time is up.
Right.
It goes quickly.
It does. It's actually gone so quick. Here we go. What have we got, Claire? And look, everyone, Claire and the rest of yous, and Emily and Hannah and Frankston Community Connect. Thank you for your comments and everything like that tonight. Collaboration and community, having people of trust in our lives to show us how.
I love that. Well done, Claire.
I like that.
Really well said indeed.
Nicely put, Claire.
Trust is a big thing, and we've got to be able to earn it.
Yeah, no, it's not given, it's earned.
Absolutely.
It certainly is.
And I actually said that to a number of new candidates today. You want our trust, you've got to earn it, boy.
Got to show it. Yeah, absolutely. Actions speak louder than words, don't they?
They do.
Oh, they certainly do. They certainly do. And I think you two ladies, by the sound of it, I know Alex, because like I said, I've known her for a while, and you, my lovely friend and new friend, right? Instead I've actually seen coming up there left, right and centre, all right? You've earned the respect and the trust from your colleagues and the people that actually know you. So, and that's why I think it'd be excellent that you two ladies get together, talk, right?
I think we'll have a chat.
And chat it, and then set something up for our beautiful ladies out here that are actually suffering. So,
Certainly see what we can do, hey?
Oh, someone thank me. Oh, thank you, Claire.
Thanks, Claire. He's pretty wonderful, Glenn, isn't he?
Hey, I might get that order for Australia's that I'm after.
You want a gong? You're after a gong.
I just want to take this
No, well, I
opportunity
think
just to thank Marian and Glenn, but also everyone who's tuning in. I think it's really important.
Yeah, no.
fabulous. Thank you, Glenn. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Oh,
And as I say, Alex, we'll have a chat.
Sounds wonderful.
Man,
Definitely.
that's
Okay.
an honour. And Alex, the same with you. And that's what Frankston
Okay.
Community Connect was set up for us. And I actually done this out of boredom, believe it or not. No, because I was doing a couple of fishing shows, right? And like I was a host on a couple of fishing shows, a mate of mine, right? And then like a country one. And I thought, why don't I just, I said to Carol, I said, hey, I should just do a live show on Facebook and just see what happens.
Why not?
And now, like I said, we've been going, what, 2 months nearly now.
You've inspired me.
Oh, that's a
Look
change.
out. Competition.
I know.
Well, lovely
Great
lady.
way to connect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. And once we get right,
Oh, you're so welcome. Thanks.
that's
Thank
Carol.
you.
That's, without her, I'm serious. Without
I was
her,
wondering how you were managing to, be host and post comments and do everything. And I was so impressed. And now, you've just blown it because now I know somebody else is doing
I'm not doing that. Actually, without Carol doing that, I couldn't do the show because it's so important that it's
Oh,
links.
thank you, Carol. It's so lovely.
Thank you, Carol. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And like I said, we set this up so we can actually join the community together, right? And all the community groups together.
It's a great forum. It's a great forum
Yes,
to connect.
totally.
So, ladies, I'm just going to put you down. You can stay on a yap with me for a little bit after we shut down if you want. All right? But it's up to you. We can go and watch CSIRO. What else? No. Anyway, people, thank you for tuning in tonight. That's actually a great show. Groom to go. I got it right. Right. Make sure I get the right Dynamo Effective Consulting from Alex. Right. But two strong ladies. And I really, really do charge them to actually set up something for the women in Frankston, right? A Zoom group if they can do it, if they've got the time. And next week, we've got men on, right? We've got Holt, right? That actually deal with all the tradies and everything like that. So tune in for next week. And got to sit out, right? You know that I'm actually going to bring in talking to all the new candidates and existing candidates. But I don't know whether I want to take away our Tuesday night. So I'm going to think about it and maybe do it on a Wednesday night just whilst the people are running for candidates and things like that. So I've just got to think about it. So until next week, I hope you have a great week, right? And I will see you next Tuesday night, 7 o'clock.